So back in May, Screen Rant posted an article about a line from the Mortal Kombat 2021 movie that Tsung said that possibly gives us clues as far as characters being brought back for the sequel. So more specifically, the line he says that absolutely any killed off character can return in the sequel. As stated in the article, Tsung hints at a portal in the Mortal Kombat universe that leads characters to where the dead reside. Tsung tells Raiden, "Today you have killed my warriors and you think you have won, but death is just another portal." So I wanted to kind of dive in and talk about who died in the first one, how they can possibly be brought back, and who will probably come back. So let's talk about it. So start off with a list of characters who, sadly perished in the first one. We have Sizoth slash Reptile, and he died from having his heart torn out by Kano. Really good scene. We had Natara, so sad that she was just, kind of a one and done, but died when Kung Lao used his razor-rimmed hat as a saw and split her head and body vertically in half. Really made for a really bloody scene, and I'll never forget his face when he was smiling the whole time he was getting blood on his face, but there's that. Goro died when his chest was slashed open and stabbed through the eye by Cole Young with his bladed tonfas. We have Kung Lao, who sadly died when his soul was sucked out by Shang Tsung. Shang Tsung. We have Reiko, who died when his skull was crushed by Jax with his metal hands. We have Kano, who died when he was stabbed in the eye by Sonya Blade with a garden gnome's hat. Kind of like a quick, just kind of like back behind slash or stab in the eye. We have Cabal, who died when he was burned alive by Liu Kang's fire dragon. Really cool scene. We have Melina, who died when she was shot through the chest by Sonya Blade with an energy blast. And then Bihan slash Sub-Zero died when he was burned alive by Scorpion with his fire breath. And if you were to kind of tally all those together, that would be 6 of Shang Tsung's warriors, Kano, who deflected from a hero to a bad guy, Kung Lao, and then Bihan. I did not include Scorpion on this list because he was kind of already dead and brought back already, so I didn't include him on this list. But those are the list of the characters that died in the first one. So now, how could they be brought back? Or could they come back? We know in the Mortal Kombat video game franchise, that characters really never stay dead for very long. They always somehow find their way back to the franchise. There is a heaven and a spirit realm, or limbo, in the Mortal Kombat universe, as well as a hell in the form of the NetherRealm, with which Shinnok basically is, I think, our version of Satan, and Quan Chi, a demon and a sorcerer, acts like a caretaker of the NetherRealm. And characters' souls, after they've died, go to, I think, one of those 3 places. And that's kind of where the comeback would come into play if they needed to be resurrected. But mostly they would, I think, have to go to the NetherRealm. And we're going to kind of get into that. So, this is kind of our experience with bringing characters back in Mortal Kombat so far. So, in the Mortal Kombat universe, Quan Chi has been the primary person who has been able to resurrect characters. The main catch, though, is when they're with the resurrections being that he has some type of control over them, like when he brought back Sindel in MK9, or the Revenants in Mortal Kombat X and Mortal Kombat 11. So, getting more specifically into the Revenants, and that's kind of why I titled this video The Rise of the Revenants, because I think that's possibly what could happen. According to their wiki, Revenants are a type of undead creature that appear in the Mortal Kombat franchise. These beings were once mortals who had died, only to be resurrected via necromancy and turned into inhuman warriors. The creation of a Revenant requires the soul of the deceased subject to be bound to a magically forged body. The body of the Revenant generally appears much as it used to when it was alive, but with glowing eyes and withered gray skin covered in scars. Revenants are bound to serve whomever created them, carrying out whatever duties are assigned to them. They may exhibit behavior similar to their former living selves, but their thoughts and personalities are corrupted by their transformations. They possess whatever abilities they had when they were alive, but they are greatly amplified. If a Revenant's master should die, then the Revenant may act independently without being influenced by another, but still maintain their corrupted personality from when they were transformed. All Revenants appeared so far in Mortal Kombat were created by Quan Chi. So there's that. So how can Revenants show up in Mortal Kombat 2, since that's kind of been under production? So given that Quan Chi will appear in the upcoming Mortal Kombat movie sequel, it's very likely that Shang Tsung or maybe even Emperor Shao Kahn could ask the sorcerer to revive the dead warriors for a round 2 of sorts in combat. Now, the portal that Shang Tsung mentions in the quote could be the one straight to the NetherRealm, and I think that's probably what he's talking about. And Quan Chi could just kind of be waiting down below as he sees these new souls coming in and thinking, okay, what's going on? And then Shang Tsung could make an appearance and maybe ask Quan Chi to use his necromancy to, bring some of his warriors back to life. So that leads us into the discussion then, who could be brought back? Who would be brought back? So I'm going to go through that same list, and I've got Sizoth the Reptile again. I don't think he'll be brought back since there are other characters that could be introduced to also be a behind-the-scenes spies for the bad guy. So that's kind of what his role was in the first one, and I think he kind of played that well, much like he did in the 1995 one. So I don't think we need to bring him back again. I think we have other characters that could be used like Tanya, Rain, maybe even Jade, or one of the cyber ninjas like Cyrex or Sector. So I don't think we need to have Reptile come back, or Sizoth, or one of those species. Natara fans, I think will be sad. I don't think she needs to come back. I think it was just a one and done for her, and I think there's other characters that they can kind of introduce if they want to do a one and done. I'd hope they don't do that, but if they do, there's other characters. Goro could come back as a boss. Like, that would be kind of cool, like a zombie Goro. But I think it'd be better to introduce other characters that are also Shokin, like Kintaro possibly. I know he's a mix, but Kintaro and maybe Shiva. I think those would be better characters to introduce since we've already had Goro. Moving on, let's talk about Kung Lao. I think he will definitely be coming back as a way for Shang Tsung to kind of throw his death in the face of his friends. And I think that'd be quite the match to have like Liu Kang go up against Kung Lao. But I think we'll definitely see an appearance from Kung Lao. We have Reiko. I think he was another one and done, and I don't think we need to bring him back. Kano has had a long back and forth relationship with Sonya Blade in the MK franchise, so I think it'd be a good thing to have him back, and it wouldn't really be a surprise if they brought him back just to be a funny nuisance for Sonya Blade and the Earthrealm Warriors to deal with. I enjoyed Kano in the movie, and I wouldn't mind having him back for at least comedic relief. Cabal, while I'd love to see Cabal come back, I don't think if they bring Kano back, I don't think there's need to have 2 members of the Black Dragon clan come back, so I think there's no need to have him back this go around. Next is Melina, and many fans want fan favorite Melina brought back, and especially if Kitana is going to be in the sequel, I think we all want to see the two sisters go at it. Now, I don't know how they'll actually bring this back, if it's going to be just like this, where she gets dropped in NetherRealm and they just bring her back as a Revenant. I think we'd be fine with that. Or if she is like a clone version of Kitana, maybe Shang Tsung has other clones waiting around to be activated and we have another clone. However he decides to do that. But I think we'd love to see Melina come back. I know Cece Stringer has not yet confirmed. There's been some supposedly stand account that's saying that she supports new movie filming, but I don't know if that really means she's coming back. So we'll have to wait and see. But we of course know that Bihan/Sub-Zero will definitely be brought back as Noob Saibot and be allied more with Quan Chi to do his bidding, possibly behind the scenes as far as retrieving Shinnok's amulet, as well as being a foe for Scorpion and the Earthrealm Warriors. So we know that he will be brought back. So at least for this upcoming sequel, I think guaranteed to be coming back is Kung Lao, possibly Kano, Melina, and Bihan Sub-Zero as Noob Saibot. So what do you think about the Revenants possibly being in Mortal Kombat 2? Do you think that's a good way to introduce the characters coming back? Do you think that's what Shang Tsung meant as far as death as being another portal and that portal being another way to bring them back? Love your thoughts in the comments down below. That's it for this video, guys. Make sure that like button. For more, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time on the Mashup.